to Good Game. I'm Bajo.
And I'm Hex.
Well, Hex, No Man's Sky has been out for a week now, and as we speak, new alien species and planets are being discovered.
Yes, and as much as I'd love to say we're reviewing the game tonight, unfortunately, because we shoot the show a week in advance, we've only just got our hands on it at the time of recording, so we've had the game for like a day.
Yeah, we've had the chance to explore the vastness of the installation and update menu. So majestic. But it's exciting to finally get started on that journey, isn't it?
Yeah, I always find it a bit nerve-wracking to finally play a game that has so much hype behind it, though. We've renamed it.
Yeah,
This is Planet Bajo Balls.
I look forward to populating the galaxy with my
I really
balls.
hope somebody else comes across this planet. I mean, is it going to live up to my expectations? And on top of all that, you're not going to be here to review it with me.
That's right, Hex. I'm taking a short break from Good Game for the next 6 weeks to go down to Melbourne to shoot a new show for ABC3. It's a sci-fi comedy series where we're a bunch of private detectives who are really bad at their jobs. It's going to be a lot of fun.
No, it's super exciting, but we're all really going to miss you. So we have to make sure tonight's episode is a worthy send-off. First up, we'll review the thrilling space combat of House of the Dying Sun. Goose will be along with an IMO too, plus we'll check out some of the best VR experiences you can have with the HTC Vive at the moment. Oh, shit! Hi!
Room scale VR, Hex. But first, can you name the game for this week? Hex, it feels like ages since we had a great space combat game, and I mean pure combat. We had Elite Dangerous and the X series, but they're more on the space adventuring / trading and then shooting side of things.
Yeah, and of course Star Citizen still seems like it's stuck in a black hole somewhere.
Yeah, right, which is why House of the Dying Sun really caught my attention, because it's been touted as a return to that classic TIE fighter meets freelancer style of dogfighting.
Now, we should mention straight off the bat that this game is still in early access. It's about $20 and only on PC, but Bajo, it feels like a finished product already, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's so impressive. The visual design of this game is just so good. Everything is super sleek, from the streamlined cockpits to the beautiful haze of color from nearby stars or ship engines. It's gorgeous. And may I say, great fonts.
Yes, the power of a good in-game font should never be underestimated. And I agree, everything about this game just looks so classy. It actually gave me a few Battlestar Galactica flashbacks. The basic story is that the Emperor is dead and you are tasked with hunting down the traitor lords. And that's about it, really. You just go out and shoot some spaceships.
Yeah, and sometimes I like a simple premise, Hex. But there is a bit of lore to find here and there if you want to go deeper. Even those great mission names are evocative of some kind of greater fiction. And speaking of missions, there are about 14 of them that don't stray too far from warp in, have a brutal dogfight with enemies, and then warp out before a massive capital ship arrives to totally outgun you. But they are designed to be replayable for greater rewards.
Yeah, and of course there is variety in the combat in the form of trickier objectives that add little wrinkles and twists. Like needing to perhaps defend another ship or scan objects or assassinate a specific target. And on top of that, there are bonus objectives to chase, lest you miss your window of opportunity.
Yes, but when it all comes down to it, these dogfighting-packed missions are all tense, thrilling affairs. The pace of it feels awesome, tracking and targeting oncoming fighters, switching between weapons and watching the fireworks, slamming on your space brakes to get a sharp turn in, coping with heavily shielded targets. It's all just so good.
Yeah, it's so good, and it's all because the missions are really carefully designed. Enemy movement, range to targets, and sightlines past giant objects in space. There's nothing random about it. It all feels meticulously crafted. And that's what makes this feel so compelling.
Yeah, and so much of this game is about feel. You know, you feel cool as an ace pilot. But definitely plug a controller into your PC because that's really how this game was designed to be played. But itchy trigger combat aside, there's a deeper, more thoughtful side to this game too. As you progress in the campaign, you unlock more ships, from fighters to capital ships, and then they come with you on missions as your very own fleet. The game can be paused at any time, and you can give commands to or jump between controlling any of your ships. This ends up becoming this huge tactical feast of fleet-on-fleet action, and you can micromanage as much as you want to.
Yeah, or just stick to the role of playing a lone hotshot pilot, which is all I wanted to do. But what great design. I played this game on a regular PC monitor, but you can also play with the Oculus or Vive headset, which sounds amazing, although I suspect this one might be a bit of a stomach churner.
Yeah, I wasn't game hex. Let's see, you've got ships that can do a barrel roll and do sideways drifts, allowing you to shoot in one direction, move in another, and look in another. Hex, I salute the brave pilots that play this in VR, because just thinking about it has given me the sweats.
Yeah, well, I mean, as always, I think it comes down to the individual. Really cool that they've added that support, though.
Yeah, absolutely. House of the Dying Sun is made by Marauder Interactive, but it's pretty much just one guy, Mike Tipple, who is an ex-Bungie dev. And that could explain why it feels so polished already. It's got AAA experience behind it.
Yeah, and there's already a growing community rallying behind this game, which is generally a clear sign that what's here is already working really well.
Absolutely. And you know, we don't normally score early access games, Hex, but I'm ready to score this now. What about you?
Yeah, I mean, I think if you're keen on space combat games, you really can't go past this, so I'm giving it 4 out of 5.
Yeah, I'm giving it 4 out of 5 as well.
This week, I want to talk about entitlement, specifically the general attitude of angry, entitled gamers that we're seeing more and more of. And I'm not just talking about people muttering harmlessly to themselves.
Pushy kids think they can tell me what to do in my house. I tell you, parents these days, they don't know how to rear children.
No, I'm talking about people sending death threats for things like game delays, death threats for day one patches and DLC, death threats for games not living up to ridiculous preconceived expectations, and death threats for reviewers not agreeing with those expectations. And just before I do get into it, if you are ever considering sending a death threat, let's go through this little checklist first. Number 1, should I send a death threat? No. I mean, seriously, death threats. When did this become normal? Now, the reason I bring this up is, of course, No Man's Sky, which has been on a long, much hyped and often delayed path to release. And for some reason, some people figured that delaying their massively ambitious, interesting game to try and make it as amazing as possible for us to enjoy is a good enough reason to send death threats, which, just to reiterate, it is not. Sadly, such behaviour isn't just an isolated incident. Recently, Salt & Sanctuary developer James Silver felt compelled to take to his Facebook page and plead for some form of sanity after clearly being the subject of much hate and vitriol. The reason? The Vita port of Salt & Sanctuary is still in working development. And tellingly, in his post, James pointed out that over his 9 years as a developer, he feels gamers' attitudes have shifted from mostly good and supportive people to about 50% assholes. Of course, I'm paraphrasing there, but you get the gist.
I knew it. I'm surrounded by assholes.
Not surprisingly, this rise of toxicity over the last 9 or so years coincides with the rise of social media. We can now reach out and berate whoever we want with unheard of ease. It's a bold new age of entitlement and harassment, and it's sad that hardworking devs have to listen to this shit. And while we can all sympathise with that deflated feeling we get when a much-hyped title falls short of its potential, threatening someone's life over it is just not normal. These are video games, people. They're the fun, joyous forms of escapism we use to avoid all these horrible things. I guess what I'm saying is that more of us need to be the shining lights of fandom. We need to be the people that make getting up in the morning worthwhile for these developers. To quote some guy I don't actually know, all that is necessary for evil to prevail is for good people to do nothing. Or to quote someone I do know,
fear leads to anger, anger leads to hate, hate leads to suffering.
We need to use this relatively new power of connectivity for good. If someone makes a game you love, let them know. If you're looking forward to their game, tell them what you're looking forward to most. If we let this vocal minority of whining jerks drown out the decent and supporting voices out there, many of these devs might just call it quits. Or worse, we're going to end up with games being designed by a committee of internet trolls. Something we're already seeing happening in another much-loved medium.
Y'all jokers must be crazy.
At the end of the day, we're not entitled to any of this. We're actually extremely lucky that talented people are willing to work so hard to create interesting and awesome games like No Man's Sky in the first place. And to prove that these devs are human, I'll leave you with a quote directly from Sean Murray's media release. I don't know how you'll feel. I don't know if we can ever live up to the hype we've generated. Sometimes knowingly, often not. But if for one small moment I can make some people feel that they've stepped through a science fiction book cover, or to think briefly about the size of our universe, then I'll be happy with that. but that's just my opinion. Do you think gamers are becoming too entitled? Or should devs just get thicker skin and hashtag deal with it? Abuse us on social media, and we'll discuss it on tomorrow's episode of Pocket.
Well, a little while ago we checked out the Oculus Rift, and we've also spent some time with PlayStation VR, which we both really liked. But now we've also got our hands on the other major VR headset, the HTC Vive.
Yes, and we wanted to put it through its paces with a few games, and of course we could not resist the lure of a free Star Wars game. This is Trials of Tatooine.
Now, this isn't really much of a game.
Yes, it's not much of anything really. It's only about 5 minutes long. And basically just a short tech demo / interactive experience that puts you on Tatooine as you await a delivery from Han Solo.
You reading me, kid?
I don't think that's actually Harrison Ford.
Don't get your hopes up. I'm not here to bring you home.
But you still get that instant heart flutter, don't you, the first moment you realise where you are. Standing on the sands of Tatooine, staring out at those twin suns. Just sent a little shiver down my spine.
Yeah, there's a handful of magical fan-based moments here. Yeah! Watching the Falcon soar through the sky and land next to you.
Whoa. Is it gonna land on me? Because right now it looks like it will.
I'm right here. Watch out.
Kneeling down to get up close with R2-D2.
They couldn't afford to send Han down? I just get you?
Looks like that patrol
All right.
tracking is coming in hot.
Oh, it taps when I tap him on the head! Tank, bank, bank, bank.
Or hearing TIE fighters roar over you.
Yes.
And just seeing the footage of this doesn't give you the proper impression of what it really feels like to play this kind of experience in VR. Oh, and the first time you turn on your lightsaber.
You've got company. Cover that droid.
It's the dream hacks.
Everything's the dream with you, Bajo. But yeah, after that you basically just push a bunch of buttons, which is kind of lame. But what was really cool is when you pull out your lightsaber and you start like deflecting blaster fire, because that to me actually felt like, you know, the hit detection was really good. It was really accurate, and I felt like a Jedi because it was so easy to deflect those, you know, blasts.
Yeah.
Oh, this is cool. This is the best. Like I am an actual Jedi.
And that made me really excited about how this could be applied to an actual game down the track.
I didn't really feel like a Jedi because I was just going like this, trying to knock him about.
This is how I would Jedi if I was a real Jedi. I don't think I'm ever going to get cast in the films, but it's like the most practical. I'm the worst Jedi ever.
But I still really like that because it's the only game part of this experience, and it's still better than Star Wars Connect.
So much better. Yeah, wow.
But after you've bounced back a few blaster bolts at a squad of stormtroopers, that's it. They gave us the dream hex, and then they threw water in our faces to wake us up from it.
Well, I mean, this is a freebie. We can't really complain, Bajo. I feel like they were just kind of messing around and seeing what they could create, and we're like, this is actually pretty good. We should just release it.
Take care.
Oh,
Take
bye.
care of that droid.
And, you know, personally, I'd love to see more franchises release similar little free experiences.
Whoa.
Maybe give us the chance to sling a few spells at Hogwarts or ride on the back of Drogon.
Yeah, I'm glad we got to experience this, but I don't want any more experiences like this now. I want developers to look at it and go, okay, I can see what we can do. Let's give us some fleshed out games. Come on.
See, Han?
Should we score this?
How does one score an experience like this, Hex? I don't know. I'm going to give it the rotting corpse of Jar Jar Binks out of 5.
I'm giving it C-3PO out of 5. Next, moving on to something a little bit more gameplay heavy, the Brookhaven Experiment.
You had no training before night fell, and precious little since. But you fight like hell now, and hopefully that's enough.
This is basically an old school Time Crisis arcade style of shooter, but in VR. You simply stand in one spot while a variety of horrific and terrifying monsters come at you from all angles.
But you only ever have one gun on you and limited ammo, so if you spam bullets, you'll be well and truly screwed once your ammo runs dry.
Say hello to my little friend. I'm out of bullets. Oh no! Eat my torch! My torch is my friend!
I really like how that encourages you to let monsters get close so you can get a good shot off. but it's legitimately terrifying when these guys get up in your face.
No.
Yeah, and you also have a trusty flashlight at your side, which can be swapped at any time for a machete when you need it. And you do need it. However, similar to ammo, your flashlight has limited batteries, so you'll have to pick and choose when you really need to use it.
Oh gosh, there's one. There's another one. There's another one. Oh my gosh, there's 3 coming for me in the dark.
The levels are so dark though, it's brutal, and trying to get by without your flashlight adds a whole layer of tension to the experience. But each level is split up into a bunch of waves, and at the end of each wave, you get a choice of replenishing health or ammo and batteries.
You'll also find special unlocks throughout levels, which give you new weapons and power-ups like laser sights or extended mags. And in between rounds, you can also swap between different guns and choose between different perks or power-ups.
And I liked how unsettled this game made me feel overall. It's genuinely terrifying and stressful to play.
Yeah, there was a lot of screaming that happened during this review.
Yeah.
Hi, die. Oh my god. Okay. Yep, all good. I survived. Yeah, I did, because I'm awesome. Far out.
Most of all though, I liked how fleshed out it was. It's got a long campaign, plenty of levels, loads of guns to play with, and good monsters, so I'm giving it 3.5 out of 5.
Yeah, it's amazing how much more exciting a simple arcade experience like this can be in VR, and it really plays to the strengths of the Vive well. I think what I liked most was the way the game always keeps you surprised, so there's enemies that are coming up behind you or at your feet because you're always distracted. Oh, it's great. I'm giving it 3.5 as well.
Okay, there's 4 left actually. They're for you. Go away, everyone. I'll just do this. I survived! Yes! Oh, yeah.
Now, finally, we trek to the top of the world in Everest VR.
That is pretty spectacular.
I'm being an eagle?
I feel instantly cold.
Though the final ascent to the top of Everest only takes 24 hours, summiting takes weeks of adjusting to the extreme height.
So much like Trials of Tatooine, this isn't much of a game. It's about 30 minutes long and basically split up into 5 areas that take you to various major points on the climb up Everest. But you don't really do much at any of them. All you do is climb a ladder.
This is how I climb ladders in real life.
Get into a tent.
Catch you guys later. This is video games. This is the majesty of video games in 2016.
And walk about a bit.
Hi. Let me hold your hand. Hey mate, don't pull away. Let's be friends.
Yeah, again, I think this is falling more into the experience category than any sort of game. I would even deign to say that it was a little bit educational.
Oh, edutainment? Burn it!
Well, I do think it's a worthwhile experience. Well, at least it had the potential to be. I mean, climbing Everest or even just being at base camp is something that I will never be able to do in my lifetime.
You can do it.
I'm not going to, though. I feel the cold like a lot.
Yeah.
Like Australian winter is tough. But at least now I feel like I've had a bit of a taste of what it would feel like to be there. I've sat at the top of the world and watched the sun set, Bajo.
There is something in man which responds to the challenge of this mountain and goes out to meet it. That the struggle is the struggle of life itself, upward and forever upward.
I mean, that was quite moving for me.
Yeah, I definitely got a sense of scale and size of this mountain and a hint of how challenging it might be to climb it. Like when I saw this ladder, I found myself instinctively looking around like, you can't be serious, I am not climbing up that. And walking along the ridge to the summit with just sheer drops to either side isn't something I would ever want to do in real life. Thanks to virtual reality, I got legit vertigo playing this.
Yeah, and the graphics are pretty good. I mean, the detail and the mountains and the snow. At first, I actually thought I was watching a movie when the game started, only for it to cleverly reveal it was all in-game.
We know her as Everest.
Yeah, the only thing that dragged the visuals down for me were the character models. They're decent looking, but nowhere near the photoreal detail of the mountain.
Hi.
In saying that, interacting with them, or attempting to interact with them, was some of my favorite moments in this experience. Not really for the right reasons.
The goddess of the sky. To others, she is the apex experience.
We're together. Not if you keep Hey, did you just hit me? We're not together anymore. This is our mountain now. You don't belong here.
The end of the ridge and the end of the world.
Oh, Jesus. Do you love me? Do you... Can I have that jacket? Can I have the... Hang on. I possess you! This is what it's like to be a video game character. Looking through your eyes. I am inside you. I possess you.
Yeah, I just threw apples at everyone.
Oh, that was a bad throw.
Then nothing but that clear, empty air. There was nowhere else to climb.
Well, because the first guy reacted. He was like, what? And then, like, after that, no one paid attention to
Hey, you guys. Frisbee's not my best.
I was standing at the top of the world.
No? Is that what did I just hit? Was that the TV?
We'd make the developers cry if they saw us playing this game.
Okay, mate. Good luck. All right, let's get the tent.
The biggest issue for me was just the price. This is $25 US, so that's about $1 US per minute, and it's not a great ratio.
Yeah, I mean, you could extend that up by just throwing apples at people for 20 minutes.
That's true. Still, I don't think you really get what you pay for in this case.
Yeah, it is super expensive for what you get. But I think for me, the real missed opportunity is just that because you're limited in what you can do in terms of gameplay in this game, I thought they could have made it some cool narrative thriller, you know? Like, where's the storm that comes and then I lose my friend and I have to go rescue them, or like some piece of equipment breaks and, like, you know, where's that threat and the drama that you associate with Everest stories?
Yeah, or the Yeti, or, you know, where you're climbing up a ladder and there's some guy at the ladder, like, cutting it as you're going up.
Like the villain.
Yeah, wouldn't that be awesome? Or a Sylvester Stallone moment. And where are the dead bodies? Everest is littered with dead bodies and rubbish, which is very sad, but, I mean, this is meant to be edutainment.
And poop. There's a lot of poop up there.
Really?
It's true. People gotta poop.
Take your time.
What are you gonna give it, Hex?
I mean, if this was $5, I'd say it was worth it, but as it is, I have to give it 2.
Yeah, it's a bit hard to recommend, although it is an interesting experience, and I know that VR needs to take these baby steps. You know, there will be an evolution to these kinds of games. I'm gonna give it 2 as well, though.
What we get from this adventure
Is anyone out there?
is just sheer joy.
Hello?
And joy is, after all, the end of life.
Hello? Oh, hey, gang. Teleport. Hey, buddy.
Well, now let's talk about the quality of the Vive hardware itself. What do you think, Hex?
Overall, I like it a lot. I mean, the controller tracking is super responsive.
Yeah, that blew me away. Even in the menus, you know, just it looks one-to-one. It's so good. I also love the controllers because you actually get to see weapons and objects in your hands. That felt really good to me.
Yeah, and you know, just being able to walk around in a virtual space is amazing.
You do need a big virtual space though, don't you?
Yeah, you do. I mean, there's this thing within it that's called the chaperone system, which puts up kind of like a Tron-like grid. So when you get too close to the edge of your play area, that's obviously great and essential for not walking into walls. So unless you have loads of space, you're pretty much seeing this grid popping up constantly, and that just pulls you out of the experience.
Yeah, it really does, doesn't it? And also, if you are in a small space, just moving your arms up with a weapon or an object, that can trigger the grid as well. If you thought the Kinect needed a lot of space, then you're not going to like the room scale stuff with this.
Yeah, I mean, you can set it up for standing room only, but it still does need a lot of setting up. You need to find spots for the sensor boxes and at least 3 power points for them and the headset. It's not as neat and easy a setup as the Oculus, that's for sure.
Yeah, this is definitely not something you want to put up and take down every time you want to use it. You will need a dedicated space for this. I also struggled with the cable management. There were a lot more cables than I was expecting, and they were always just getting tangled in my feet. I need a rigging system, or really, I just need this to be wireless to fully enjoy the experience.
Yeah, that can be a bit of a problem. In terms of the headset itself, though, it's more or less the same quality as the Oculus Rift from what I could tell, which means I would prefer a little bit more resolution in those screens.
Yeah, you can still get that screen door effect that we have with the Oculus, but once I got into the games, I didn't really notice it. And also, these games didn't make me motion sick, and I almost always get motion sick in VR, and I think it's because I'm actually moving around the room now. I'm not using a controller to move my body, so it's tricked my brain in a good way.
Yeah, I mean, overall, these are the kinds of experiences that I've been really looking forward to having in VR, that first-person immersive kind of thing where I'm getting to experience something that I wouldn't be able to experience in real life. I'm just really looking forward to when they take it further.
So, dear viewers, did you name the game for this week? It was Space Pop from Kinect Adventures, released on the Xbox 360 in 2010. This minigame challenged you to pop all the bubbles by waving your arms around and also moving towards and away from the Kinect. It was one of many minigames in Kinect Adventures. And it's unnamed the game because it was developed by Phosphor Games, the same team behind this week's Brookhaven Experiment on the Vive. Well, Hex, who's going to be keeping my seat warm while I'm away?
Well, joining me from next week will be Nick Boy from Good Games Daily Show Pocket, and we're putting together a huge sci-fi special. We'll see what secrets we can uncover in our full review of No Man's Sky.
I want to review it.
You can't. Plus, we'll take on some cybernetic enhancements in the new Deus Ex, Mankind Divided.
I'll review that too.
You can't. But wait, there's more. We'll also be celebrating Star Trek's 50th anniversary with a look back at the games.
So many good ones, I think. Definitely so many bad ones.
Yeah.
Well, it sounds like a big show, and I'll be watching from afar. Don't forget to send in your Good Game birthday card entries for our 10th anniversary special. The best ones could win a seat in the studio audience for our 10th birthday show.
And all the info for that is on our website.
Well, it's just about time for me to say goodbye for now.
No.
I'm going to miss you, Hex. I'm going to miss the whole team, and I also just realised I'm going to miss the World of Warcraft expansion Legion. I want to review that.
We can't. That's probably for the best.
Yeah, that game and I have a messy, turbulent relationship.
All right, now I do have a little present for you. It's a little Melbourne care package for your new temporary Melbourne life.
Well, I like the wood panelling. That's very Melbourne, isn't it?
Yeah, it's very hipster.
Yeah.
Look at all these things.
PlayStation Vita. Yeah, we won't need that.
This is a hip bow tie, and you can wear this without a shirt. So it just goes around your neck like super hipster.
Do I have to grow a beard or something? That's
yes.
popular in Melbourne, isn't it?
Yeah,
Variety
and
of
also
styles.
you have to wear pants with shoes but no socks. So there's no socks in there.
Okay, great. Yeah, I'll give you all my socks before I go.
This is a scarf. You can just wear this like tossed around your neck, just like casually, like hipster.
Yeah, you look great in that.
Yeah.
And some sleeves, some sleeve
Well, that's a
tattoos.
sleeve tattoo.
Yeah, nice.
So you can have like a tattoo. Yeah.
I already feel like I belong in Melbourne.
This is for all the sick parties you'll have. Woo!
Well, until next time, Bajo out of here.
Hex out.
All right, guys, I'm off. Wallet, phone, keys. What happened to my keys, Hex? What happened here? You think this will stop me, Hex? You think it might actually? They're stuck down pretty good. Oh, these poor gaming wrists can't do it. Yeah. No, come on, I have to go. I have to go. You're quite strong.
Don't you climb over that wall.
No! I don't think I'm actually gonna make it.
Don't go.
I'll be back in a few weeks for the birthday app anyway.
Oh, well, that's fine. Have fun.
See ya.
The worst Jedi ever.